Alright, I've been nursing around this idea after wandering through various hardware stores, and I had seen this stuff and wondered about it. It's a braided stainless steel water heater connector, and they also use this for other things, water connections to your sink. Anyway, this is the 3/4 inch, and whatever the 7/8 means, and I think they make a 1-inch size, and I bet if I really looked around I could probably find an even bigger size. This is the 1/2 inch size, and it says it's stainless steel. I have no idea what kind of quality it is. So what I've done is I've cut the end off. Came off pretty easy with a hacksaw, and I was really afraid that that I would find that this stuff was glued to the center pipe. But at least this brand, with what I got, it wasn't. So it slid right off the pipe rather easily. That's the inside tubing there. And so this is the stainless steel pipe. And if you push it together, compress it like that, it gets a little fatter. Stretch it out, it gets a little thinner. So maybe you've guessed already where I'm going with this. One could fit inside the other. And let's say I could put this one as, hook it up to positive and hook this one up as negative. And perhaps the fact that this is braided will allow water to pass through, and maybe do something that way. I could also mount this inside one of my stainless steel pipes. And, so it's a worthy little experiment to try. I've got various ideas. I also picked up a couple of these things, whatever it is, a toilet connector of some sort, and look what it does. It fits right inside there. And what I'm thinking is I can drill holes in this and actually pump water through this so it comes squirting out of holes and through this and into the other. So I'm going to do a crude little version of this and see what I can come up with, if it's usable at all. It might be worth something. Okay, so I've cut the ends off of this, and you can see that, I don't know, other brands or other makes of this stuff might be different, because it might be actually glued to the inner tube. But that comes out a lot easier than I thought it would. And so, what I've got is this. It'll fit inside here. Then the main question is, how do I keep them from touching each other inside of that? And I haven't quite got that figured out yet, but it'll probably involve some using some of the strip ties or something along that line. As you can see, this stuff, when you compress it, it gets lighter, fatter. So if I was really clever, I could probably make several concentric tubes. This is what I've come up with. I think I'll call it the Chrome CornDog. I used the toilet tube thing and managed to insulate it using some of the strip ties, and there's the bigger one around it, and believe it or not, that according to my multimeter is actually electrically isolated. So we are going to plop it in the tank and see what happens. It's hard to tell exactly what is happening, but what's not happening is there's certainly not a huge amount of bubbles. So something is starting to happen. If you look, there actually are bubbles coming off the end of it, sort of. Which is kind of interesting the way that's happening, because it's not coming off of the it's coming out of a little leak in there. So I don't know what that means. It's kind of interesting that it's not coming out through the braids, which is pretty much what I thought would be happening. You can definitely see that the bubbles are forming on the braids there. One of these days I should use clean water. It is kind of interesting. That was me blowing through the tube, not some mythical amount of bubbles. And it's not pulling hardly any amps. Well, I'm not going to call this a failure yet. I'm just going to say that maybe the CornDog design isn't quite the best. Ooh, nice little bunch of bubbles there. So it seems like it pulses and then builds up and then comes out. So I think maybe the CornDog just isn't the right design for it. But looks like this material probably is, and I checked the label and it's 304 stainless steel, which 316L is what everybody wants to use. So I think we'll quite redesigning and see what else we can come up with. Alright, I did two things. One is I installed a little hole there. Just kind of stuck a pony thing in. And it's for bubbles to escape. And then I switched the anode and the cathode to see if maybe that had an effect. And not really doing a whole lot better than before. And I'm not sure exactly what that issue is. Could be that the braids are just too tight, but it seems to me this is an interesting idea, and one that certainly could be developed further, so I'd like to see somebody else go get some of this. I found out it's a lot cheaper to buy a 10-foot